but then getting the offensive rebound. At that point, there's 16 seconds on the clock. You know what you do? Pull the ball out. Play it for the last shot. Get yourself, I think at that point, within 5 going in. As bad as you played, get yourself within 5 to going in the half, right? What ends up happening? They throw the ball away, trying to get a quick 3 from Clay in the corner. LeBron calls a timeout, or the Cavs call a timeout. And this is where the brilliance of Jeff Van Gundy comes in. This is a perfect example of it. David Blatt substitutes James Jones in the game. Steve Kerr, the other assistant coaches on the bench, don't see it happen. Van Gundy described it as a late sub, but they didn't catch it. So now you have Festus Ezeli in the game guarding James Jones, a knockdown shooter. And he says this after, right as it happens. So then LeBron comes on the court. He's in the middle of the floor. Of course, smartest guy on the court. He sees it. He knows there's a mismatch there. Draws the defense with a little bit of a drive. Kicks it to who? James Jones. Yeah, who's closing out on him? Festus Ezeli. What happens? He drains the 3. So now you go from a point where you could have closed the half down by 2. Now you're down by double digits going in the half. Just that quick. Just that quick. Because of mental lapses, not closing. Like Phil Jackson used to talk about it all the time. Closing out quarters and halves. Good teams know how to close out quarters and halves. And usually the Warriors are good at that thing. But for whatever reason,
time
man.
out real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Time out. So, I heard the other day that, he's at home, so, okay. I'm just confused right now. Like, I heard the other day that LeBron had brought a barber in. I guess that was when they were out in Golden State. He had flew a barber out, had a barber come in and give everybody haircuts and all that stuff.
Sweet.
Gave him, like, these Apple Watches. But I'm looking at LeBron like that barber, boy, he got LeBron. Ooh.
What you mean? How you get him?
Oh, my. I'm saying, man, like, back on the fight, you'll see when he step out on the court.
I see. I mean, the blend look tight, don't it? The blend tight. He got a nice skin fade. Got the 2 parts on the side.
That look like, but yeah, it look like he got a bang now. Like, like the hair kind of just hanging over the forehead.
That's the part where his barber guy be like, look, Ron, let me knock this thing on down all the way.
Damn.
We'll pull this razor out. So, it's gonna be some hair up there still, because he ain't bald up there. He's just thinning. So just get the rest of it caught up with the stuff in the middle, and then bring that straight razor out and give you that fresh line, and everything will be all good. You're gonna have to get it cut every week so it don't grow back in those areas, those problem areas. Yeah. But you'll be, what I mean? You'll be straight. Yeah, man. You're a trained cosmetologist, dude. Do your job. You know what I mean? Get this man straight. Stop letting him do that, because not after every game, either from him at the free throw line bending his head down, or him having to bend down a little bit to hear Doris Burke ask some questions after the game, it's immediately on Instagram. Immediately.
Every time.
Right. Every time. Like no one's used to it yet.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a college track meet on, dude. I know how you are about them track girls. Sprinters are on, too.
What time is that?
I don't know. I guess ESPN is what I'm looking at. I guess I'm looking at ESPN.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, so he just got to doing the 100. You know how them girls be built. Yeah, she's not in college. Yeah, that white girl's not in college. She's like 45 years old. I mean, what's happening here? Yeah, she's like 45.
I like them. I like mine with the big glutes. The Carmelita Jetters of the world.
See.
Like, yeah, that's what
I always find a way to bring him out, don't I? Creepy Rob Lowe. Always find a way to get him out here. Where were we at? We're at 94. So wrapping this final thing up. A couple things got to happen tonight. Well, first and foremost, make shots. That's going to be your first agenda if you're the Warriors. Make shots. Get the ball out of LeBron James's hands. Periodically. You're not going to be able to do it consistently probably, but at certain stretches in the game, it's not enough just to switch a defender on him. Put Sean Livingston on him this time, or Andre Iguodala on him this time, or put Harrison Barnes on him this time, or Draymond Green on him this time. It's not enough to just do that. Sometimes you got to go and you got to show big. With whoever Ezeli, if he's on the floor, if it's Bogut, whoever. Sometimes you just got to flash and show big and get the ball. Make somebody else the decision maker is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Because if you force J.R. Smith to be the decision maker, pretty good opportunity for you to win a ball game. Just saying. You know what I mean? It's a pretty good opportunity for you to win a ball game if J.R. Smith is making a bunch of decisions tonight. other than just I'm gonna catch it and shoot it. So there's that. Draymond's got to get his head out of his butt. Whatever's going on with the back, you got possibly 4 more games, my man. It's been a long season, but your team needs you more so than anything, because this whole talk of they need to show more emotion and show more effort, they're basically talking about him, because it's not a team of guys who do that. But he is the emotional heartbeat of this basketball team, and he can't be out there getting frustrated with silly fouls and looking crazy and letting that take away from what he needs to do on the glass. He gotta find a way to keep Tristan Thompson off that glass, and that's not. And by no means am I saying that's an easy task, because that dude is a monster when it comes to rebounding the basketball. But Draymond Green can hold his own against a lot of the bigs, a lot of guys that are bigger than him. This whole question about him being undersized is coming up now. But where was it in that Memphis series? Where was it in the Houston series? Yeah, he was playing ball. Same thing this series. You got to show up. And then watch what happens. Watch what happens when and if Draymond shows up. Watch what happens to Klay Thompson and Steph Curry. Just watch. And then tomorrow we'll get back on for a Friday show and we'll talk about it. But as far as everything else, I think they're good. LeBron can keep shooting 40%, scoring 40 points. But until he can score 90 by himself, you just got to hit shots. Dudes who make shots got to make shots, man. Period. Like, Harrison Barnes can't keep doing that. Like, you're a professional. How you get 0 points? How I'm here in Decatur or in Lithonia, and I got the same amount of points as you got, and you playing in the NBA Finals.
Oh, okay.
How did that happen?
Oh, okay.
What was I about to say?
That you could go out there and get a bucket.
Maybe. Dude, I might go out there and get a foul or something, dude. Like, if we in a penalty, draw a charge or something, you know what I mean? Hit one free throw. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't about to create nothing, but hell, might be able to pick up a loose ball foul somewhere along the line, as long as we in the penalty, though. It can't, like, I'm not taking no foul for free. That's side out of bounds. What you talking about? No, I gotta get points out of this. My homeboy back in Decatur watching. My co-host watching this. Can I get some points? Shoot.
As soon as you get the ball, you go shoot.
Yeah, every time.
As they look your way,
yeah, every time, cuz. No pick necessary. Just let me run it. I used the term willing the other day. Yeah, that's an old.
Yeah, I saw you saying that.
Yeah, that's an old Decatur term there, y'all. It's not the same as what you hear on ESPN. They need to will their team to victory. Nah, where we're from, doing that means a bad thing. If you out there willing, yeah, terrible.
Right, that showboat.
Me, you ain't passing at all. Yep. Trying to get all the points. Okay, so we'll go straight from this to this. I did have some NFL stuff, but we'll go from this to, because we got about 21 minutes. We'll go from that into this Brittany Griner situation, because I think it's just an update. Again, just to give you guys a timeline. April, Brittany Griner and her now wife, Glory Johnson, were arrested for charged with assault, not necessarily not domestic violence, and that's something that immediately me and Rob kind of looked at and was like, hold on, wait a minute, does it matter that they're women now? That they don't get the whole domestic violence situation? And seems to be what it is. Although they got charged with assault, but Brittany Griner actually had to take domestic violence classes, so that's kind of a mismatch of things there. But then they got married in May. Last week, found out that Brittany Griner was like, yeah, this whole marriage thing ain't working for me, and Glory was like, it ain't. By the way, I'm preggers. All like in one little. I may be mixing up the timeline a little bit, but like all the marriage, I mean the annulment and the pregnant thing just came up like right around the same time. So now,
yeah, you definitely just made up the scenario.
What scenario? I did what? Wait, what? I made.
I'm just saying, yeah, the timeline, just like how you just made up like this story, like Brittany said, I'm out. And she said, oh, you are? By the way, I ain't
kind of, sort of, around that, somewhere around that, the truth lies. But anyway, all those other things are true. She's pregnant, and, Brittany wants out. Oh, God, what did she say? What did she say?
It ain't mine.
Of course it's not. Of course. Which, by the way, I'm glad you mentioned, because I'm looking at this picture of her. I'm tell you guys where this is. This is at the Bleacher Report. The name of it is the title of the article is Brittany Griner, Glory Johnson, the WNBA, and domestic violence in the LGBT community. Here's something else that I can't take credit for, but I'm surprised I didn't think of it. After the Bruce Jenner interview with Diane Sawyer, you remember she was asking him about his sexuality, and he was telling her that that's different. My what did he say? He said my sexuality is who I go to bed with, but my sexual identification is who I wake up as, or something to that nature. But Bill Maher asked this question. He said, in the term LGBT, like those three of those things have to do with sex: a lesbian, a gay, and a bisexual, right? But the trans, from what we've just been educated about, has nothing to do with that. So does it really belong in the same group? I'm not asking the question facetiously or intimating that I know the answer. I just think it was an interesting question when I heard him ask it, and I was like, that makes sense. Like, it's like that SAT question, like one of these things don't belong. Lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender. Okay.
Right.
The T. But, I guess it's just I'm only going to guess. It's a matter of the level of discrimination that happens to the entire group of people and the fact that they're lumped in together anyway in a lot of people's minds. I'm just going to guess that. But back to this Brittany Griner situation. It's not just the Brittany Griner situation. I'm not going to say that because this is about domestic violence and how we kind of look at it differently. And I'm going to give you guys the funny part first because there's a funny part of this. Apparently, they chose to, during their wedding, they did what a lot of people do. They wrote their own vows. That's not the funny part. The funny part is what the vows said in it. The whole for better or worse thing usually comes up in people's wedding vows. Not this time. Here's your lesbian wedding vows. Glory says to Brittany, I promise to be the Whitney to your Bobby. Yeah, that probably ain't.
Yeah, already started this thing out wrong. It started wrong real quick, didn't it? We go drink, smoke weed, do coke, smoke crack. We go fight. We go up.
Hey, something's wrong, dude. I have this this drop, but it's not working. Crap on me, man. Damn it, Rob. Something's not happening right. All right, whatever.
Oh, man. You're not in Dubai.
I'm gonna finish the other vows. The Bonnie to your Clyde, still not a good way to be.
We gonna rob people,
and they actually got murdered together by the police.
Right.
And finally, Rob, the Ike to your Tina. Enough said. Walk off.
I'll beat your ass.
Drops the mic, and I'm
ass.
out. Eat the cake, anime.
I'll beat your
What he told that boy, that white boy? That's Mrs. Turner, boy. Show some respect. That's a married woman. Oh, Ike. All right, so that's the funny part of this that I found hilarious when I heard it.
I'll be your Ike to your team.
Come on, anime. Eat the cake. Eat the cake, anime. So they went back and talked about other cases in the WNBA that involved domestic violence and the perpetrators being women. I don't know. You probably know these people more than I do. Deanna Tweedy Nolan. Know who that is?
Tweedy, was that the chick that was the college coach?
Don't
was
know.
She a coach or something?
Apparently, she kicked her boyfriend in the balls so hard she almost crushed his balls. So that happened.
Oh, God.
Some chick named Malika Willoughby. And then there was Shamika Holsclaw. We know about that situation.
Glad to hear.
Yeah. And Chantel Lavender. They were all allegedly involved in domestic violence incidents during or after their WNBA careers. Certain things we don't hear about, and probably because they're women. And in a lot of cases,
but remember Shamik pulled out a gun and shot the girl windows out and everything.
Story. Yeah, guns were brandished. Yeah. Of course, she got to go to jail for that immediately.
But do you remember? I don't know if you remember this, but Shamik Holsclaw had this book out talking about her life as being bipolar.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I asked you, I was like, dude, hey, man, we could get, because actually that dude, Carlos, that I was going back and forth with about the game the other night, it was she was one of his clients.
Yeah, why don't he listen to the show? That's what we need to find out. Why don't Carlos listen to the show?
Because he'd be too busy watching his clients on TV.
Well,
Um,
you can